Hello students. So in the last class we discussed about male reproductive organs. What are the different parts of male reproductive organs and the functions of each and every part. And today we'll discuss about female reproductive system. Female reproductive system consists of uterus, fallopian tubes, ovary and vagina. Uterus. This is a pear-shaped hollow muscular organ. A uterus is the place where the embryo gets implanted and develops into a newborn baby. So it is basically the sac or the bag where the newborn baby, the growth of the newborn baby takes place. So it is basically the place where the embryo gets implanted and develops into a new grown baby. The wall of the uterus provides safety and nutrition to the growing fetus. Fallopian tubes. What are fallopian tubes? Fallopian tubes. One each fallopian tubes comes out of the uterus, and the fallopian tubes end in finger-like structures called flimbrate, and fertilization happens in the fallopian tube. Ovary. There are two ovaries, one each near the fallopian tube. Ovary produces the eggs or the female gametes, and all the eggs are produced by the ovary when the female child is still in the womb. One egg matures in each ovulation cycle and is released from the ovary. The egg is caught by the flimbrate and transferred to the fallopian tube. So we have discussed about uterus, we have discussed about fallopian tubes. Fallopian tubes is where the fertilization happens, and each side of the uterus has a fallopian tube coming out of it. Ovary, there are two ovaries, one each near each fallopian tube. So ovary produces the eggs or the female gametes, and all the eggs produced by the ovary, all the eggs are produced by the ovary when the female child is still in the womb. One egg matures in each ovulation cycle and is released from the ovary, and the egg is caused by the flimbrate and transferred to the fallopian tube. Vagina. Vagina is the cervix or the mouth of the uterus opens into the vagina. Vagina is a muscular tube-like organ which serves as a passage for the sperms and also as the canal during the childbirth. Now these are the parts of the male reproductive organ that we discussed: penis, urethra, and then the testicles, the sac that we covered yesterday, the rectum, then the anus, and then the prostate gland, the bladder, and the ureter. Now, reproductive health. So what do you mean by reproductive health? Human beings are different than other animals because they have a power of thinking. They have to obey certain moral values and need to behave sensibly in most of the aspects of their life. Beginning of puberty does not mean that a person is psychologically ready for the process of reproduction. For a human being, reproduction involves more than just producing an offspring. So human is a different species. Human is a species which uses its brain. So it has the power of thinking. So in this topic, what we mean to say is we need to understand that the importance of the responsibility that comes with puberty. When you reach a puberty stage, when you are when an individual has that ability to reproduce, there is certain responsibility to it. As an act of sex, as any act of sex has the potential of fertilization, so taking care of contraception becomes important. So while conducting sex, it is very important to use contraceptives. Moreover, the act of sex also has the potential of creating many sexually transmitted diseases. So, but also if someone performs unsafe sex, then without using contraceptives or without using safety, it also leads to sexually transmitted diseases like AIDS, STDs, are gonorrhea, herpes, syphilis, AIDS, hepatitis B. AIDS and hepatitis B are incurable till date. Even the curable STDs are potential dangerous, and not physically but also psychologically. So what we mean to say is, once an individual reaches a puberty and is sexually fertile, that doesn't mean that means that he or she is also responsible. So you need to be very responsible in terms of making sexual decisions. Reproductive health involves preventing the chance of STDs and preventing unwanted children. Reproductive health means a couple should be able to enjoy the reproductive phase of its life without taking the burden of gigantic family. So this was something on a moral value side. Okay, so we are over with this chapter. In the next class, we'll start a new chapter.